Welcome to another edition of Talk 30 Education with Buki Lawa. Today we'll be looking at the topic, school finance management. Running a school and improving a school cannot take place without proper resources, and this resources starts with having money. Managing schools requires finance with accuracy and transparency in funds. Schools should be able to have a budget, control and monitor their daily expenses, and they should be able to project for the upcoming school year. Our guest today on the show is the CEO, Financial Literacy for All, an NGO championing the cause of financial literacy and inclusion in Nigeria and Africa. He is a financial expert, Reverend Laja Shoniran. You are welcome to today's show, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, talking about finance in schools, we cannot overemphasize the issue of money.
Sure.
Whenever we're talking about schools, even those schools raises future leaders and teachers. But the aspect of money is quite important.
Sure.
What is school finance management, sir?
Okay. School finance management, like I will always say that money is not the only thing that is required in any form of business for that matter, and school is one of them. So I would like to say that finance management for schools are basically the ability of the management of the school, the board, or whoever is in charge, to be able to manage the assets and the liabilities of the school, which is very key because the sustainability of the school is hinged on the ability of the board to manage those assets and liabilities. Now, the assets will include money, which is basic. Of course, there are other assets. And then the liabilities, being able to meet the obligations that the school is, the obligations of the school to whoever. It could be their suppliers, it could be books, it could be anybody, it could be even the rent of the school and all of that. So it's important to be able to, the management of the finance in school is all-encompassing. In fact, if you want to push it a little bit further, it also includes the ability of the management to manage even the human resources. Yes.
Wow. So how does money affect education itself?
That's a big one. That's a big one. Actually, money affects everything. Money affects everything. So education is one of the things that it affects the most, because if you look at life, what we are is a function of the education we've had, whether formal or informal. So money affects education in a great deal. You take it from the individual point of view. If you don't have money, if you're an adult, you don't have money, you cannot be engaged in some of the educational pursuits that you love to. Now, you go a little bit further to the family, the same thing. When there's no money, your choices are limited. Okay, you want to send your children to a particular kind of school, you are not able to. Maybe you want them to acquire some particular skills. It could be music skills, but you have to pay for it. So it affects education in all aspects. And then when we go to the community as well, if there's no money, you find mostly now alumni or old students trying to put schools in order and all of that. Now, if they don't have money to do that, they will not be able to, help the school in any way. And then when we now go to the overall, the government, money affects education a great deal. And that is why sometimes, yes, priority is there, the need of, the issue of misplaced priority of government and all of that. But really, it is what is available that can actually be used. And that is why, in a nutshell, it affects all facets. Money affects all facets of education, no matter how you look at it. Yes.
Now, whenever when we look around, we see some schools holding up in a short while.
Yeah.
And when you ask questions, they tell you that there is mismanagement of the funds in the school, or maybe there was a loan involved you couldn't pay back. And you begin to wonder that such schools have enough population to actually pay for whatever they think they should be going through.
Okay.
What are likely problems that a school will have that might lead them into such state?
Interestingly, I find this very, very, how will I put it now? Something that shouldn't happen. Okay? Because in any business, there are skill sets that is required to manage the business. And I'd like us to look at a school as a business more. The more we do that, the better we are able to manage the resources. Now, for you to start a business and run it properly, you need some level of training. And one of the training that I always say is very important is financial training, financial literacy. It's not just being able to put figures together. No. The decision you make, the decisions you take must fall in tandem with the objectives of the organization. Now, if you are not a good financial manager, it will show forth in your ability to manage the school. And that is what happens most of the time. When people tend to say, okay, this school should not fail. Now, when you look at it critically, you will see the interference of the personality of the people managing the school. Because the way you manage your funds as an individual is always the way you will manage the funds of the school or your business. So fundamentally, the first thing that anybody starting a school or running a business should start with is the ability, financial literacy. Financial literacy, ability to curtail your excesses. Every one of us have excesses. When there is money, that's when you know you now begin to do some things. Suddenly you realize, we need a new school bus.
Yeah.
Now, okay, we need to do. Yes, those things are good, but you must be able to actually look at it. How is it funding itself? Everything we look at in school must be a cost center, and the cost center must be able to fund itself. Now I'm going a little bit technical.
I'm enjoying that.
Okay.
Enjoying that. Yeah.
If you must buy a bus must be able to fund itself, not taking school fees or tuition to come and be funding, running, or running the bus in the school bus. So if we look at it from that perspective, it will be easier because you will know this cost center is not profitable. So we need to do away with it, or look at a way to make it profitable. Yes, people do say that school is a charity, but like what one of my lecturers will say, he said, you are not for profit, but you are not for loss. So yes, a school should, not primarily driven by profit, but should not be for loss. So any cost center or anything you are doing, I use the school bus as an example. Even when you are talking about books, you are buying books and then you are reselling to students, there must be enough markup on it for it to be profitable. When you are talking about every other aspect, you are doing music training, it must be able to sustain itself. If it's not sustaining itself, it's drawing funds from some other resources. And those are some of the leaks that people don't notice. And by the time they know, They say, we are making so much money, but what happened? But there are leaks here and there. Okay, and that is what creates this kind of problem when a school will just hold up and that will be the end of it.
School owners, I hope you have listened to that. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back to Top 30 Education with Laja. We're still here with Reverend Laja Shoniran. He is a financial expert, and he has made us to understand that there is need to save, there is need for investment, there is need to be careful of leakages that are affecting schools. And he said something, there are leaks from some areas that you're not taking attention to. You are not putting your attention to such areas. You could be using the tuition to run the school bus. You could be using the school bus to run the books. If you are not careful, you might run into a loss. Let us be careful into that. Now, looking at these problems that we know that we need to be careful of some areas.
Yeah.
What can you say the good school financial system that is crucial adopt?
Okay. Input and output. Now, input talks about how does money come in. Now, you must put a lot of controls on that. How much is the school fees? Who is supposed to collect the school fees? Where are they supposed to collect it, or is it to be paid in the bank? All those details to ensure that there are no leaks. Because any little leak, they say a leak in a dam can actually cause the dam to be destroyed. Any little leak, and then there's this propensity when human beings see a leak, an opportunity, they will try and do as much as possible to extract the best from it. So as much as possible, the way cash comes in, very important. How do you manage it? That's very important. Then the other aspect is, how do you expend money? What are the criteria? There must be checks and balances. Many times, just anything that the school is doing, just the signature of the school owner is enough. And that's not good enough. There must be some procedure. For any amount to get out of the school, there must be a procedure. Yes, people can accuse you of being stingy or whatever, but know that the survival of the school is on you. And if it fails, it's on you. If it succeeds, it's on you. They can call you being stingy, but make sure that every process is followed. Let there be a process, and then checks and balances. That is what accounting is actually for. All right? When somebody is buying fuel for the car, you must know. Over time, you will know how many kilometers this fuel can take. And if somebody is buying, say I bought 5,000, and then for a few moments, and he says it's coming right, the fuel is gone, then there's something wrong. And that's why sometimes schools are better off having a particular place where they buy fuel, where they pay over time. It also gives them the ability to leverage on credit, okay, because those are very important. Fuel is something that you do on a regular basis for cars and all of that. So it's important to make sure that you have a place where you buy. It will help in a great deal to curtail the excesses of drivers and all of that. Get a receipt now can be forged, so that one is not even a good place to go. But maybe a card or something. There are some of these filling stations that now have cards. You get the card, fill the card. It's not possible for them to get cash from the person, from the attendant. So that is a form of controlling the excesses.